Welcome to Qua Mailer Desktop. Qua Mailer is Lorton Data's powerful and flexible platform that gives you access to our data services right from your desktop. There's no need to maintain software or worry about USPS updates like you do with other postal software. We do it all for you. You can feel confident that when you clean and prepare your files for mailing, that you're using the most updated information and meet current postal regulations. So let's begin by importing a mail list. I'll browse for my file. The import file details tells you how many records are on your data file, the header, and an example of the data. Field layout and mapping allows you to map the fields, the pertinent name and address fields for processing. You can choose to leave a field unmapped, or you can choose to not import a field if you wish. Additional fields can also be on the file and not used for processing if you wish. You have the ability to save this field mapping layout to be used in the future by simply clicking on the Save Import Definitions button. And then you're ready to import. If you do need to append a file, you may simply click on Import, append an existing file to an existing mail list, and repeat the process. We make learning Qua Mailer Desktop easy with resources right at your fingertips. You'll find comprehensive help documentation within Qua Mailer Desktop. You can explore the table of contents on the left to find a topic of interest. Or you can click on Search for a keyword search. Or from any application within Qua Mailer, if you need a little additional help documentation, you can simply press F1 on your keyboard to access the help documentation that is specific to that page. Qua Mailer Desktop is all about making this easy to get right. So before we select our processes, I'd like to draw your attention to preferences. Preferences allow you to customize your Qua Mailer Desktop experience. Nearly every aspect of the application allows for the customization of default values with preference settings. So for example, on your Z+4 reports, if you'd like to populate the mailer name and address to be printed on the 3553, you would do that here. In General Presort, if you'd like to add visual separators, package and container breaks, you may do that. You can predefine your entry points. In Postal 1 mail.dat, you can just set your mail.dat default values. Or in folders, you can choose where you want all of your working folders to be. And if multiple people are using the application, you may share computers where your different settings are located. So let's start processing. Using Qua Mailer Desktop, you have access to an array of address quality and mail list services such as CAS certified Z+4 coding, full service 48-month NCWA link processing, access to the delivery sequence file, duplicate elimination, suppression services such as the DMA mail preference file, and PAVE certified postal presort options. Now, processes are in two sections. On the left-hand side contains buttons for tasks that can be processed independently. The right-hand side allows tasks from the left to be grouped and processed together in a multitask process, and then saved as job definitions to be used for future jobs, which is a big time saver for those repeat jobs. So let me show you how that would work. Once I've imported my mail list, I would go up to Job Definitions, and I would choose the particular job that I'm working on and apply this settings. So what this will do is it will bring over the majority of your job specifications, and then you'll just take a moment or two and review them to make sure that they are accurate for today's purposes. So let's review these steps. So zip+4 processing, again, when the window pops up, if you want to make a change, you can certainly do that and continue processing. A green star means that everything is accurate and set up correctly, and you're ready for processing. Let's look at the duplicate ID. Again, these the job definitions were brought over. You certainly can update or make changes on the fly if you see fit. So whenever you see a red exclamation point, you can hover over that. We are invested in making sure that your setup is accurate and complete. So if you hover over the red exclamation points or the yellow triangles for a task, it will draw your attention to the possibility of incompliance issues or give you some warnings. So you will want to pay attention to that. And in this situation, it's saying you must process address verification or zip+4 processing on your file prior to running duplicate elimination. And when you do that, which we are, you're ensuring that the addresses have been standardized and it will create a better match for you. So again, it's a warning to make sure that you are successful. And then we'll look at the pre-sort. And again, I'll go through this to make sure that everything is what I expect for today's mailing. I'll look at my mailer information. If I need to change who the permit holder is, I'll just click on this button to access my address book, make the changes. Specifications. I've got my class of mail, my mail rate, piece dimensions. Now let's say the weight change for this mailing and it's 0.5 instead of 0.6, easy to change. Choose how you're going to pay with your permit and DISHA. Here's your mail date, your move up date, and the date. Now, I wanted to point out if something is not exactly accurate. So let's say instead of I putting in 8.5, I put in, let's say 12, length of 12, it's going to give me all sorts of warnings. And it's going to say, this mail piece is not automation compatible. Marketing mail, full service IMBs only for carry route or automated letters or flats. So again, we want to make sure that you are successful, and we will try to warn you with yellow triangles or red exclamation points if something is not correct. All right, let's move on. Here's your mail.dat options. When I had originally set up my job, I set up my mail.dat default values and preferences that we talked about earlier, so that was filled in. Intelligent mail options, again, these things can be changed on the fly. Your entry points, acceptance unit, and then any additional options that you have. So you can exclude some records prior to pre-sort. You can identify if it's political or election mail, or if you're using one of those neat incentives that the post office offers. And then you also have the ability to do some container overrides. All right, so it looks like everything is set up and we are ready to rock and roll here. So let's just take a quick peek at this little yellow exclamation point. Okay, the warning is just making sure that we're running zip +4, and which we are, so I think we're ready to run. So this will just take a moment or two to run, and when it's finished, we'll look at reports. So when processing is complete, the data is returned to your desktop, and reports are available to review, and files are ready to export and to use. All right, so let's look at the reports. So you'll want to look at these reports to make sure that the results are what you were expecting and are reasonable. So for example, if I look at the postage statement, I'll want to double check my class of mail, my number of records, and my postage, number of trays, and what type of entry point discounts I was expecting. So once you have reviewed the reports and they meet your expectations, you're ready to export. You're going to see in the reports, I'll just open up the folder here so you can see exactly everything that's in the reports that we return. You'll see a number of PDFs, which are your postage reports, so your postage statement, your qualification report, your CAS report, your pre-sort job summary, your tray tags. You'll see your mail.dat zip file right here. So that's in the reports section. And once I'm ready to export, I would simply click on export. You would choose what type of a file you want. You've got several options. What records do you want to export? What fields do you want to export? Browse for where you want to put the output file, give it a name, and then what do you want to do post-export. Just like our import file, we can save the export file definitions to be used at a later date. So once you're finished with all of that, you are ready to upload your mail.dat file and print your postcards or letters or whatever it is that you're working on for today. The other thing that I wanted to point out to you, once we've talked quite a bit about processing, is the local functionality that you have right on desktop that you can perform some data manipulation functions. So if I were to go up here to Mail List, I'm going to see that I do have the ability to select and define filters. We give you some canned filters ahead of time, or they're very easy to create. The Mail List control panel allows you to add fields, delete fields, rearrange fields. You can make fields visible, editable, and you can even edit your field names. You have the ability to duplicate records, delete records, sort records, edit fields, mark samples, and count records. Lots of options here. We also have some useful client resources right on our website. Let me show you that. LortonData.com is our website. Under Client Resources, you'll see Industry Links. Under Industry Links, you can look up postage rates. You can give your customer a quick postage estimate, or you can even look up those rules for folded self-mailers. I just know that you're going to want to bookmark this page and refer to it often. We also offer weekly drop-in demos that are free, Tuesdays and Thursdays, for both of our Qua Mailer web and Qua Mailer desktop product. And we also offer handy video tutorials that will guide you step by step from start to finish with your mailings. At Lorton Data, we are committed to maintaining a secure environment with a high degree of availability. You will have peace of mind knowing that the confidentiality and security of data accepted, processed, and delivered via the Qua Mailer platform is our highest priority. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I sure hope to see you in the future. I look forward to working with you. Bye now.